always, I am your host, Smitty, back with another one, man. And as you can see, if you're watching on the video, this is a different kind of setup, different kind of look. We had a lot going on this past weekend, and we ain't set all this back up. So if you weren't aware, I don't know how you're not aware, but we had our men's mental health cookout the other weekend, and it was dope, man. Let's just start there, because I've been pushing this. I've been talking about it. We've been promoting it. We've been getting into it. Let's just start there, because I know everybody wants to know. People couldn't be there. This was just for the fellas. We did what we had to do. And let's just talk about growth. For real. Last year we had about 20 people show up altogether. That's friends and family included, like 20 people. And this year, at least 50 people. So like we more than doubled that, like over 100% growth. At least 50 people. I would like to say we sold out my backyard. That's how I want to put that. We sold out the yard because there was only 50 tickets available, and we sold every one of them. And I couldn't have been happier. And people paid at the door, So even with that, like donations are up like 5x, 5 times, like from last year to this year. And the panel grew. We had 3 panelists last year. We had 5 this year. We had 0 vendors last year. We had 3 vendors this year. And it's growing. It's moving. And, like I said, I've always wanted to take this to different cities, and we're going to have to, and home base is always going to be right here in Bridgeport. I want to keep that Cookout, Connecticut base of it in Bridgeport. So I'm looking forward to working with the city to try and make that happen. So if you know somebody who works for the city of Bridgeport, Parks and Rec specifically, someone in that office downtown in City Hall who could help make this happen, because they did share it. Y'all seen on the City of Bridgeport page, Facebook and Instagram, they shared the cookout. So they support the cookout. We just got to get into the room with the people who make the decisions, because this needs to get to everybody. Like I said, this is the event every man needs. This is the community every man needs. And we not going to stop doing it. We're going to do it everywhere. I'm in extremely early stage talks, extremely early. So it's like, if it doesn't happen, it don't happen, but it will happen. Early stage talks to do this cookout in Maryland next year. So stay tuned for that. There's a lot in the works. So there's so much happening. This thing is growing. There's interest in it. There's a need for it. We had people come to this men's mental health cookout, right, from Connecticut, obviously, but we also had people from New York, and we had people from Rhode Island. I met a man from Rhode Island. He drove all the way from out there to Bridgeport, Connecticut, to come be with us, to be a part of this community, because he was like, yo, we don't got this. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta see this for myself. I gotta see what it's like, because he's big into mental health too. He's like, I gotta see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do this in Rhode Island, brother. We gonna make it happen. However we gotta shake my people, talk to your people. We gonna put something together, because this is needed. It's needed 1,000%. And if you know anybody who's into branding and trademarking, we got to trademark this thing. We got to brand this thing, because it's going to blow up and somebody's going to try and steal it. So I'm very serious. If you know somebody who know how to do all that, please send them my way. Because the worst thing is when you have amazing ideas and all that stuff and people want to come steal them. But even then, you could take the name. You can't take the anointing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got no notes, but that's a bar right there. You could take the name. You know what I'm saying? You can't take the anointing. So even if you want to steal the name, you can steal Daily Dimensions if you felt like it. You can't take what God already put in here. You can't take that anointing, man. So we're going to be blessed either way. But if I could do this and get some legal paperwork behind that brand and identity, let's make it happen, man. But this thing is moving. I literally cannot do this in my backyard again next year. And like I said, one of my favorite rappers is La Russell. He does all his shows out of his backyard. called the Pergola. He just had Juvenile in his backyard performing like a couple weeks ago. He be going crazy. Sada Baby be in the backyard. Everybody be in the backyard with that man. And he really sells out his backyard and is a man in his community. And like, that was one of the biggest things I wanted to do with this, is build it from the ground up, do it in my yard, be a man of the community. We had, I got a video, I might post it. We had cars lined up all up and down the block. My neighbors was having cookouts and listening in on our cookout. I talked to my neighbor the other day. She was like, yeah, so you're hosting events now. And she was like, yeah, it got shared so much on Facebook. One of my friends shared it and I looked and I said, man, is that my neighbor? I didn't know he did this. So like, and I don't really talk to my neighbors like that, but she knew, she seen it. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, that's what's up. Keep doing that. And it's one of them things, like, there's no way you don't see me. You know what I'm saying? I think I do too much. I'm too visible. I make too much of an impact. Like, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you click, like, subscribe, tap in or not, there's no way you're not going to see me. There's no way you can't find me. There's no way you don't know what's going on. And there's no way you could little bro me, because this is too big and the anointing is too big and we're doing what God wants us to do. As much as like this is amazing, you're like, oh my God, Smitty, you're doing a great job. Like, don't give me the credit. I'm just a vessel. I want to try and remain as humble as I can about a lot of this stuff. Like, yes, I work hard. Yes, I dedicate my life to this. Yes, I do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I'm just a man who's following what God told him to do. And we all have that ability. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any more ability than you do to be obedient to what God told you to do. If you got that thing tugging on your heart and it's like, man, God won't let me rest about this because I need to do this, do it. God won't let me rest. I can't find peace in this situation because it's like, man, God don't want me to be in that situation. Step out of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of ways we can go with that. But at the end of the day, this is not a testament to how great I am, but how great God is and how much he can do in your life if you just say yes. You know, all you got to do is all you got to do is say yes. Not the way she meant it, but in a spiritual sense, just say yes. You know what I'm saying? Just say yes. And let God do the rest. You can put that on a t-shirt too. But this thing is growing, is moving in so many different ways. And I was always that kid that was shy and afraid to speak up and all that other stuff. And now here I am talking to y'all all the time and moving different places. So this thing is moving, is shaking, and I'm excited. Also, if you're watching the video, as you can see, you probably haven't seen this in a very long time. And I may sound different because I'm using a different microphone, but I'm back to using the first microphones I used when I first started this podcast, just because I don't have the thing set up for the other one. But I always had this microphone and I always had to have the green pop filter over it, man. And it's like something special about holding this thing again. Pause. Hey, yo. But it's something special about like this is really my microphone, yo. Like a Sennheiser. What kind of Sennheiser this is? E935, made in Germany. I love this thing, man. This is my baby. And it's special to share this episode with y'all using this microphone. I don't know. That's sentimental to me. It's like, man, this is where we started, right here in this basement with this microphone in a chair like the one I'm sitting in with no walls and stuff behind me and all that stuff. And now here we are, man. But on the flip side of things, and also, well, I mean, still on the growth side, I got contacted to speak out of state. My first for real out of state booking. I had one the other day, but it fell through. So this one is like first for real. We still dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but it's going to be out in New Bedford, Massachusetts, which is near Dartmouth. It's like on the other side of Rhode Island in the little fishtail part of Massachusetts, not the Boston side, but yeah. And they was in there and they was like, yeah, you know, I heard your episode Managing Expectations, and you know, I'd love to work with you. Let's see if we can make something happen, blah, 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 blah. And I'm excited. He's excited. And I'm like, bro, we're going to come over there and deliver, and we're going to bring some value, and we're going to make some connections, and y'all going to leave feeling blessed and energized and renewed and restored. And then he was like, yeah, you know, whatever your travel is, if we got to get you a hotel. And I'm like, man, you know, like that for me was big. I was like, y'all about to give me a hotel? You know what I'm saying? Like when I started this, like, yeah, it's one thing when you dream it and you're like, yeah, this is where it's going to go. This is what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we finna do. And then it's another thing when your dreams are starting to become reality. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote on Facebook years ago. I might have still been in college, and I hope that memory pops up again. I know I screenshotted it somewhere, but I wrote and I said, yo, somebody's going to pay me to speak one day. And here I am. Somebody's talking about they want to book me in another state and they'll pay for my travel and give me a hotel. You know what I'm saying? And it's like words have so much power. And sometimes God will let you see just a little glimpse of something and then bring you fully into it. And you're going to be like, man, I ain't even think it could be like this. And the craziest part about this, and I'm going to lean in when I say this is only the beginning. Like, as long as I've been doing this is only the beginning. Y'all are in the very early stages of what is about to be something real crazy. What them Nike commercials be saying, it's only crazy till someone does it. It's only crazy till it happens. And it's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's here. So it ain't even crazy no more. Now it's like, what else is next, God? Like, let's do it. Who do you need me to talk to? What do you need me to do? Who do I got to reach out to? Like, wherever you need me to go, send me, man. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, you got to be humble enough to be sent anywhere. Because, you know, if I had said, God, only send me places I want to be, I wouldn't have spoken many places. There are some places I speak. If I could be transparent with y'all, I get there and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Or days leading up to it, I'm like, man, I don't even want to go. I don't want to be there. I don't feel like talking to these people. You know, and especially if the business dealings are already annoying, because not everybody does good business. Like, you'll get there and get paid, but like sometimes the communication and the deadlines and all of that stuff be terrible. And it's like, man, I don't feel like working with these people. Or you get anxious and it's like, man, I'm scared. You know, like I don't always wake up every day and I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. I love what I do though. You know, but we're all human beings. And no matter how great your job or occupation or calling or life may be, you get tired, you get anxious, you get scared, you get nervous, you get lonely sometimes, whatever it may be. You be wanting to talk to people. You just need a pep talk from somebody, a hug from somebody, whatever it may be. And that's just part of having a balanced human life. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But I don't always wake up and want to do this, but I'm blessed to be able to do this, and I'm excited about doing this, and I love doing this. And it's like, God, send me wherever you got to send me. You know what I'm saying? And I done spoken a lot of different places. Like I said, my first speaking engagement was in a parking lot. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope. And I had a great time. And them people was my people. You know what I'm saying? It was lit. But it's like we was in a parking lot. Mad traffic in the background. Microphone didn't work. I was spoken on a farm, you know, shout out to the community farm, man. But literally on a farm a couple times, you know, it's in the heat. It's hot outside. But we've been in a lot of different spaces and done a lot of different things. And I'm so like thankful of it all and the relationships we build along the way and the impact we make. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So like, again, y'all are in the real early stages of something that is about to be so dope. And I want to give a special thank you to everybody who was involved in the cookout. Tracking back to that, like, I got to give y'all proper thank yous, man. To everyone who attended, to everyone who was a part of the panel, to everyone who volunteered. We had people volunteering for photos and videos. People, one of my good friends volunteered to help at the door. Like, my other friend was cooking on the grill, all of that. Like, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I couldn't do this without y'all. To everyone who bought something on my Amazon list for this cookout, to people who sent me money to get supplies for this cookout, to everyone who just helped make this what it is, to the people who are trying to help me already plan for next year. All of that stuff. Those are people that remind me of the things I said in old podcasts that I still got to turn into clips. All of that stuff, man. And I may never turn it into a clip because I'll be tired and doing other things. But, you know what I'm talking about. And Yeah, it's all love, man. I love each and every one of y'all, everyone who has helped make this happen. And I always have love for y'all, man. And it's appreciated. Like no man is an island. I can't do any of this by myself. Everything you see in my life that looks like a success, somebody helped me with it. So, and again, it's never just me. It's either me and God or me, God, and the people he sent to help me. But it's never just me. So special thank you to everyone who made that possible. I'm nothing without y'all. And where do I want to go to land this plane, man? I don't even know because there's no notes. There's no nothing. It's just vibes. It's just recap. The only other thing coming up really is my sabbatical. We might have one more episode left. I don't know how the calendar sits right now. I might give y'all one, even if it don't sit right. Whatever the last Monday in August is, I'll give y'all another episode. And then when we get into September, every September, I think this is like my third year doing it. I take a sabbatical. I just try to reconnect with God, get my life back together. Probably gonna keep working out some more. I'm losing a little weight. Nothing too crazy, but we're gonna make it crazy. And my neck was getting skinny. If you see the pictures from the cookout, some of the ones my neck was looking a little skinny. I was getting watch, yo, was getting there. But yeah, and I'm probably gonna fast again. You know, in January, every January I fast. This January I fasted sun up to sundown, every single day in January, and that was a journey. I may or may not do that again in September. I'm definitely going to fast every day, but I don't know if I'm going to do sun up to sundown again. 2 months of that is a lot, but it's worth it. But I'm going to fast in some capacity in September and do that every day. And if y'all want to join in with me on the fast, you know what I'm saying? Y'all will hear from me again in that last episode before. Let's fast, man. Let's get right. Let's reconnect with God. Let's discipline ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Let's correct ourselves. Let's get our bodies right. Let's get our mind right, especially heading into this season that's going to be filled with a lot of seasonal depression. It's going to start getting dark soon. It's going to be cold. It's going to be uncomfortable. I know y'all love that fall weather, but fall weather lasts 3 weeks and then it's cold. So once you get them 3 weeks of pumpkin spice lattes out your system, it's going to be cold and dark and depressing. So let's figure this thing out. Let's get our minds right. Let's get some vitamins in our system. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we got to do so we're ready for that. So yeah, that's September. That'll be a sabbatical. I will still be doing bookings and things like that. I may even still record some episodes and just not post them till later. But really, it's just to take a break and recharge. And I encourage y'all to do that in whatever capacity you can. You know, it may not be a month-long situation like me. I'm kind of blessed to be able to do that. But whatever you need to do to rest and take a break, do it. It's necessary. Don't go through this whole life and never take a break until the very end. Take that time for yourself, love on yourself, be at peace with yourself. And then I guess the last thing I'll leave y'all with is just something I want y'all to sit on, man, is just meditate on, is that like you're worthy. You know, you're valued, you're important, you're precious. Your time is precious. Your life is precious. I know we live in a world where, you know, a lot of times we try to look at our identity and it's attached to, you know, how successful are we in our career, and am I married yet? Do I have kids yet? Do I own a car? Do I have my own place? Am I a good person even, really? Like, am I proud of myself? You know, do I matter? A lot of these things happen. And I guess part of why I'm saying this is because I turned 31 a couple of days ago, probably like 6 days ago. I think today's the 19th. So 6 days ago, my birthday is the 13th. And everything you think you're going to feel at 30 is you feel it at 31. You know, for anyone who's about to turn 30 and hasn't turned 30 yet, turning 30 is a breeze. It's really not that bad. It's when you turn 31 and you're like, oh man, this is real. This is real, you know, and you start to realize even more, because I've already realized it, but then it hits you as a wave again of like, man, like life is short, you know, life is too short to not love yourself. Life is too short to not value yourself. Life is too short to be running around feeling like an imposter. Life is too short to be devoting our livelihood and energy to nonsense, to not be loving God the way we should. Like, life is too short for a lot of things. And I just have so much of a greater appreciation for life, for the people in my life, and just for the way things are going, man. So understand you're valued, you're important, you're precious, and you got to live your life that way, and you got to love yourself that way and take care of yourself that way and treat yourself that way and believe that about yourself, even if it don't always look like that or your decisions don't always line up with that. I'm not proud of every decision I made, but even the decisions I'm not proud of don't make me see myself any different, because I'm a beautiful chocolate man who's blessed and highly favored, boy. And I know nothing I can do is ever going to change that, no matter how bad it is. I don't care what. Like, that's how I feel about myself, man. And that's how y'all should feel about yourselves too. And the last thing is something my boy, if y'all watch Kickback with K, one of the best platforms out here in Connecticut, salute to my brother, J.K. Wilson, Father of the Year out there. He said something to me the other day because I had asked him how he was doing, and he was like, yeah, everything's going the way that it should. He ain't say I'm doing good or I'm doing bad, because normally people ask you like, hey, how you doing? I'm good, everything's okay. Yeah, man, just working. And he said something that really changed my perspective. He's like, yeah, everything's going the way that it should. And when you start looking at life like that, like, yeah, things aren't going bad or good. They're going the way that they should, because all things work together for the good of those that love him, man. Even if it feels bad, it's going the way that it should go. And if it feels great, it's still going the way that it should go. But everything's going to work together in your favor. Everything's going to work together and you're good. God's going to turn it around. He's going to make a way. Just keep trusting, keep believing. And it's like, you really look at life different when you're like, man, everything's going the way that it should. Because if it was up to us, we would only write the beautiful parts, but them uncomfortable parts are what build you and allow you to learn. And it's like, if you're like, man, I need to be more patient, you're going to be put in some situations that require some patience. Oh, I need to be more trustworthy. You're going to be put in some situations where you got to hold somebody trust. I want to be stronger. You're going to be some situations that's going to test your strength, and you're going to feel weak, and you got to rise to the occasion. So, whatever you're looking for is usually on the other side of a situation that's going to test you and bring that out of you. It doesn't just show up one day and it's like, yeah, I'm confident now. It's like, no, you're going to go through them spells of not feeling that way until you do feel that way. But everything within all of that is going the way that it should. So I'll leave y'all with that. And again, y'all got one more episode out of me this month. We're heading into the sabbatical in September. Keep reaching out, keep loving yourselves, keep doing what y'all do. I love y'all, and until next time.